So welcome to Tarot Talk Tuesday with Lisa and Anton, and we have got to what card today?
The Empress.
How about that? This is pretty cool. So for those of you who are just joining us, why would you be joining us at number 3 in the deck? But that's perfectly okay. For those of you joining us just now, understand there's a whole series of these that we are working to put up.
78, in fact.
In fact, 78. 78 little snippets where we go through the meaning of each particular card. So we're up to the Empress, who is quite beautiful, I have to say. So what have you to say about the Empress?
She is the mother of all things. And when you count the stars on her crown, you will see that it has the number 12. So there's one star for each of the zodiac signs. So she is the mother of all.
Who is that?
Her dress looks very much like the curtain that was hanging behind the high priestess.
Well, it does, doesn't it?
Pomegranates.
It has pomegranates on there.
Some people think that this is Demeter, Persephone's mother.
How interesting.
Again, the mother of all things. She's linked to the Strength card because of the orange pillow that she sits on. And you'll notice that the dress on the Strength card is kind of similar, but it doesn't have the pomegranates. It's now a lace of flowers that's on the string. There are 2 cypress trees behind her, so she understands the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. And we see in the foreground on that heart the symbol for Venus. So she is a goddess in her own right.
Just here, yeah.
And golden wheat in the front, which is again a symbol of sustenance. So she is the eternal nurturer, the eternal mother, the one who understands life, death, and rebirth. So she's kind of like the queen of the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. And when I see this card in a reading, I think of it as a birth of something, right? So yes, it is fertility, but that is not just restricted to physical birth, right? If we're looking at the character for just that, we may miss a message from the cards. You know, we have to be a little bit practical or logical sometimes when you're reading, because if you are not reading for a fertile person, fertile as in they're past their childbearing years, or they're, not in a relationship where they would be having a child, she's probably not predicting birth. She's probably predicting the beginning of a cycle, like the wheel of the year and the stars on her crown, right?
Yep.
So the beginning of a cycle. I also want you to notice how much yellow is on this card. So a lot of her effort and energy is just sheer will, right? She wills it to grow. She wills it to be born. She commands, if you will, the stars, and the sun is one of those stars.
Oh, the sun is indeed a star, yeah.
So the sunlight is what grows all these things that begin with her.
All life comes from the sun, so to speak. I love that we've got here this universal stream of consciousness appearing behind her. And I think, as Lisa says, the wheat here reminds us there's life and death and life. And that it very much is about the cycle of things. And whilst the Empress does bring forth great fertility and much fecundity, this can also be a renewal. This can be where something has gone completely pear-shaped. And,
time to begin again.
And it's time to really start over. But take with it the experience that you've learned. I mean, this harvest that you have here of the golden corn, yeah? Corn is an annual. This is barley corn, okay? It's not the maize that a lot of people are familiar with. This is the corn as we would know it in Europe, I guess, the barley corn. And it really is showing that cycle, that it's coming up to its maximum potential, the point at which it's harvested. But in harvesting the corn, you kill it. You cut it down. It's effectively dead. But from it, the story of John Barleycorn Must Die, for example, 3 times they cut it down, they bury it, they put it into the earth, they crush it, they burn it, all that sort of stuff. And it comes back. It keeps coming back. And I think this is the thing, the cypress trees, as Lisa is saying, that cycle of life, death, rebirth, life, death, rebirth.
Or the flow of the water between there, right?
Flow of the
water that comes off the dress of the high priestess flows right through the back of there.
Mm-hmm. And continues. We'll point that out as we go through the rest of the cards, definitely. But this great beauty in this card, the Venus connection there in the beautiful heart-shaped, I'm not sure what it is, shield, stone. It could even be an avocado, which is interesting when you look at that.
And you think that's
no, it's not really, but it's that beautiful like heart shape to it. But you are sort of reminded of the stone in an avocado when you first look at it.
Which is like a womb sort of thing.
Which has got, again, that connection to fertility. Maybe it's just my weird, crazy brain, the way it works. So you get these little triggers, you should be open to these triggers. When you see something and it triggers a thought, it's important. It may not be relevant, but it's important. But as Lisa says, the pomegranate's there. You've got that, the pomegranate is that deep underworld kind of connection and masses of seeds and huge potential contained within this beautiful rosy thing that you think you just want to bite into like an apple, but it ain't going to work like that. You have to peel back. Pomegranates are awkward to eat.
Right. So when you see this card in a reading, it means order the salad that has the pomegranates and the avocado.
That actually might be sage advice. It sounds pretty good. Really good foods for you, actually, both of those.
There you go.
But no, joking apart, absolutely lovely, lovely card. And if this, you're pondering yes and no's and all
it's
this,
definitely
it's
yes.
a very positive card.
It's time to begin again. It's
it
time
really
to
is,
get things going. Yeah.
Let it go. Let the crap go. Accept that what didn't work out. But take what you've got and
for a rebirth, reassessment,
renew, revitalize, renaissance. A rebirth, quite literally. So it's very
about
much
nurturing something and willing it to grow. Yeah.
Yes. And it very much is an awful lot of love. And again, look, she holds this scepter, and it's interesting. I don't know if we actually do a course on wands, which is kind of fun. But the reservoir of the wand in the scepter is actually at the top, and she's holding it up, which means she is bringing down this universal energy that comes from beyond the supernals, if you will, and she's harnessing the force and bringing about form. And she herself occupies the role, the divine feminine, the womb here, the one who brings it forth. And and blatantly, if somebody's saying, I think I might be pregnant, and this is the first card you pull out, I think that's a pretty good confirmation thereof.
Right, and then you look to the cards around it for more information, because one card by itself has information in it, but not maybe all the details that you would need. However, you use your sixth sense or your psychic abilities.
Right.
And your logic, too,
logic. I wonder what Spock would be like as a card reader.
Oh,
fascinating, no. Captain. I think that could be good. I would love to see him. I do not know.
That's not
I love the way you said that.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. So the Empress, fertility, rebirth, cycles, willpower, love, nurturing, happiness. Good card.
Good card. Yes. Remember, above all, love conquers all. It really does. And lovely, lovely card. So that's the Empress. So if you like what you see, please do like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to be putting up more of these as we go along. So you can dig through and at your leisure, learn about the tarot. So thank you.
There'll be 78 episodes eventually.
Eventually.